Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am on the free-to-play. We're on the road to Ultra Nightmare. I got the J Cup back here again. Yeah, coffee's good. It's necessary this morning. Man, the recovery from the weekend's been a lot harder than I was expecting. Keep staying up too late. Keep getting up too late. Doesn't mean I'm getting more sleep. It just means both things are happening at the wrong time of the day. But this is hopefully getting me back on track here. When things are going smooth, I'm up at like 5, 6, 7 a.m. getting the video out, recording this right away. That has not been the case the last couple days, but that's okay because the free-to-play is still going very, very strong. So let's recap some things. If you saw my collab with YST yesterday, you would have noticed that I got real excited at one point because I ended up pulling, which is just fantastic, end up getting the blessing for Rhonda. You can see it right there. We've got the brimstone on her and she's clutch for it, right? This blessing is absolutely insane, right? It does 250,000 damage on the clan boss, I think regardless of difficulty, every time the clan boss does one of their AoE attacks. It's incredibly strong. What's really great about this blessing is there's 20% chance of placing this, but it's based off of every hit. When you have somebody like Rhonda who does triple, quadruple hits on a turn, it's incredibly powerful. So this is going to be something that is going to make loads of difference for my clan boss team, right? On top of that, obviously I have masteries on her, and in my video yesterday I pulled a Jareg who is absolutely insane. Now I don't have any books in him, but thankfully he doesn't take a lot, right? He takes, I think, a total of 7 books to be viable. He's a great ally protection champion. He's a really nice passive that adds continuous heal to everybody when they lose 20% of their damage in one hit. Now it is per hit, so affinity, this is a less powerful skill than it is against Void. Still incredibly useful. Great way to help keep my champions alive. When I combine this with somebody like Elva and her passive ability, absolutely massive. Also has ally protection, increased defense buff. So there's a lot to like about Jareg, and I've ranked him up to 5-star right away. I got him partially ascended and I'm leveling him up. He's almost to 50 already. So, you know, I immediately knew this is the 5th champion of my team. So right now it's a very exciting time. Oh, on top of that, I should show you my daily login, right? So it is day 20, right? So we're moving forward slowly but surely. On top of that, I hit level 45 on my account. That means I unlocked Hydra, which is probably going to be worth nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? And for some reason I was dumb enough and didn't use all my keys yesterday. In hindsight, I'm like, oh, I probably should have just thrown them in there and see what happens. But, you know, that's exciting because that's going to be another area of the game to get some gear, get some of those Mithrala fragments. And she's going to be an absolute game changer for my account when I do get her. And so there's going to be some things that I can start working on in that regard. And I have champions that are good for Hydra as well. I have Ugo, I have Elva, I have Jareg. I mean, that's a pretty good start already, right? Not to mention champions like Rhonda and Alhain to do some solid damage. I feel, and Deacon for that matter, right? So I have a pretty solid base upon which to build. Obviously, I'm going to need to, you know, get a lot better champions in order to really compete even on the lowest level, but that's okay. You know, the key is just being able to get one chest, even if it's the bottom chest, because I just want those Mithrala fragments. That's really all I need to do, and I have 3 keys to do it. So maybe I can't do it right now, but we're going to see what we can do. I also have to give major shout outs to my referral program. We finally got somebody at 40, right? 41. I might have shouted this out yesterday, but we got 2 epic books. It is huge. We got both the other accounts are at 30. This one's at 39. Man, another 2 epic books would be massive. And to give you an idea of exactly how massive that is, I want to point out one of the champions. Ooh, I have them in my vault right now. I've been like hoarding champions, trying to get my food ready. I'm almost ready to level up somebody else to rank 6. That's very exciting too. But Venom Mage, look at this. Just missing the cooldown here, 100% chance. This one, we booked it up a little bit more, 85% chance now. Just need 2 more books. We'll get those cooldowns. Those are the only 3 books I need on this champion. Once that happens, all of a sudden now his skills are on a 3-turn cooldown rotation, which would be massive, obviously, for clan boss, but for everywhere else too. We can start to build upon what we're doing. Because I have champions like Deacon, because I have champions like Elva, my champs will be taking multiple turns for every one the clan boss takes, and that allows, when you have really low cooldowns, to be able to cycle through those skills and double up on them multiple times, and that can be really, really big for my account here. So I'm very, very excited to get Venom Mage booked up. I think that's going to be a massive deal for me. So obviously, you know, I have a big need for some epic books on my account, but I'm really excited about that. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Now, I was talking previously about a day of, you know, while we're doing this, I'm just gonna do you know, a quick campaign run here. I've just been leveling some champs. In fact, I'm gonna have Elva do it just for the heck of it. You can see I'm kind of leveling up Jareg there as we go along. You know what? I do like doing, like, when I do this, it is kind of fun to have like a nice little setup where I turn off her revive ability, and basically I just let her. All she does is A1. It's not slow, but it works 100% of the time. It's very efficient. So I'm just gonna let that kind of run here in the background, and put it on 1x speed so you guys get the full experience of Elva. I mean, she's outstanding. But you know, one of the things I did do was I ascended Elva to 5 stars, which is massive. Massive. I basically, you know, I was talking about doing a day of potion keeps, and of course it's magic that's open now, which is really annoying because it's CVC time, and we got a whole bunch of chickens from CVC, right? Like it's actually the rewards you get from that are just massive at this stage of the game. And I'm trying to push to get the personal rewards too, because again, that's like another slew of 3-star chickens that are going to be really helpful for me as far as leveling champions up and getting more champions to 6-star. But what's kind of annoying is it's Magic Keep, and I'm like, I really want to do a day of potions. The next day it opens, I think, is going to be Saturday, and I'm not sure I want to wait that long, right? Because, as I said before, getting these champions ascended means adding rings, adding amulets, and adding banners, which can do absolute wonders for, you know, my champion's survivability in this game. And it can be a real big difference, especially for a champion like Rhonda, who's an attack-based champion. If I can get a crit damage amulet on her, that's gonna absolutely change the game for her. You know, I can then bump up her protectiveness by putting a defensive ring on, an HP banner on. That sort of thing can make a huge difference. All these champions, you know, champions like Jareg or Ugo or Deacon will benefit immensely, or Venom Mage for that matter, from having an accuracy banner on them, right? Or maybe if I built enough accuracy, I don't even need the accuracy banner. I can put HP or defense and help improve their sustainability. So that's gonna be really massive, and I really want to farm it. But I'm like, it's CVC time. I need to get more points for doing other things, and you don't get a ton of points for ascending, so farming the potion keep isn't really beneficial, right? It'd be one thing if I had the pots already. That'd be great, right? I can ascend it, I'll get the points for it, and it's all good. But when you're doing CVC, right, like you want to get points for all of it. So farming campaign will give me points. Then leveling up champions gets me points within that. Getting the gear gives me points within that. Ranking my champions up will give me points within that. So it's just a better efficiency use of my time. And so that's kind of what I've been doing a lot of. I did spend some time doing the potion keep, but I spent most of my time kind of focused on ranking up champions because I realized I'm this close to getting another 6-star champion, which is exciting because, of course, getting Giant Slayer, getting War Master is huge for my clan boss damage, but it's also huge just for my dungeon damage. I'm going to be able to advance a lot further. My survivability goes way up. My arena teams are going to be way stronger. So these are kind of the things I've been, considering and thinking about and working towards. Okay, so we got through that pretty easily here, but you can see it works beautifully. Shout out to the fellow in my comments that has asked me to do that run in every single video just about, and yeah, want to give you a little love back. I do have a bunch of arena runs I have to do. I've been moving up the Doom Tower as well, which has been great. We are all the way up to level 50 basically, so I think I should be able to pass this today, and we're gonna keep the climb going. I got stuck on 30. And then actually YST gave me really good advice about the spiderlings. Just like nuke the spiderlings. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I haven't done another spider with like a free to play account ever. So I was like, oh yeah, that's a totally viable approach for normal. Good call. So I did that and it was easy. Like surprisingly easy. I was like, oh, okay, this is way easier than I thought it was gonna be. So we got through that. And the Elder Dragon was no issue for me whatsoever. So basically, my goal is going to be getting my next 6-star champion. Give you an idea of how close I am. I've got Outlaw Monk. Now that I have Jareg, I'm not going to use Outlaw Monk and Clan Boss anymore. I've got Coffin Smasher. Again, Venom Mage. Don't need Coffin Smasher. And then I have a fair amount of 4-star chickens. Right? We got 1, 2, 3 all set up. Look at all these champions that are 30 all ready to go. As soon as I can rank them up, that'll be great. And then I've got this one right here too. So we're really close to being able to get another 5-star. And I think, even though I was a bit hesitant to do this, but I think I'm gonna save myself some time and dump some champions that just aren't that great and rank up both Ripper and whatever his name is. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But this guy, I think I'm just gonna rank them up to 50 and use them or to 5-star and use them as my food. And then I would love to take Venom Mage to 60, but I think I'm going to end up taking Deacon to 60, primarily because Deacon already has all of his masteries, so it'll be a lot easier to actually see the instant result. 2, Deacon's fantastic. All of his attacks, all of his turns are attack turns, so we're not going to benefit any more or less from Giant Slayer or War Master on him, I should say, as opposed to Venom Mage. And having Deacon being able to survive is going to be really helpful for us too. So I think that's going to be the way I'm going to go. I think that's the best maneuver. Now, if I had masteries on all my champions already, I would probably rank up Jareg because he's so beefy and will keep everybody alive. That would be more valuable to me. But right now I have full masteries on Deacon. I have most of the masteries on Venom Mage, but not the tier 6 one. So even if I ranked up Venom Mage, I'd then immediately have to go back into Minotaur to give him some more, and I just don't really want to do that right away. So I'm probably going to end up ranking up Deacon. I think that's going to be good for us. I don't really see any issue with that. It's not going to make a huge difference which one I take up to the next level. So that's the plan. I'm hopeful I'm going to actually be able to do that today, which is pretty exciting. And then I'm going to continue to rank up, and hopefully at the end of CVC today, hopefully I'll have enough chickens to actually be able to do this process again in a very short turnaround. And so I'll have 4 rank 6 champions by the weekend. That's the goal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there, but that's the goal. And if that is what happens, what'll be great is then I can use Saturday to finish my day of potions and just get a whole bunch of potions, climb those potion keeps, and really see where I can get to with stuff, because I think that could be very, very exciting. The other option I do have, obviously, even if I get 1 to 60, I might not get another one there. I might only have 3 champions at 6-star, but I have a few champions that would like to get the 5-star, including Ugo, especially Ugo. Really, Ugo, Dahi, I think is fantastic. I think I'm saying that right, Dahi. But Dahi would be a really good one as well. But I think I would like to get both of them up to 5-star, just to make them a lot more viable in the game right now, which at the moment they aren't. I did get a Fellhound too, and I'm real tempted real tempted to start leveling this guy up and ranking him up because he's a very, very, very good champion. I think he's going to be extremely good for Fire Knight because he does put a reflect damage buff on everybody, and that can be really massive. In addition to having a lot of continuous heals just off his A1, AoE, can knock out the enemies. He can be my farmer eventually for campaign, so a lot of potential there with Fellhound. I would like to level him up and rank him up. You know, Seducer I'm probably not going to keep. Fanatic I'm probably not going to keep. I mean, I'm going to keep him for now. I'm just probably not going to end up using him, is what I meant to say. And you can see I am also holding off to some fusion champions, right? I have more than a few of the Broadma fusion champions, and so that might be something that I might take a moment and, you know, in between here, start ranking those up, leveling those up, ascending them, just so I can knock that off the list and add another really quality champion to my team. And I think that might actually help me a lot with some of the higher level dungeon runs because of the revive ability that Broadma does have. Would pair really nicely with Elva. Might make for some slower runs initially, but maybe allow me to advance higher and farm higher stages, which is always good. So that's kind of what's going on with the account right now. It's not what I want to do today, though. We've got two things I want to do today. First off, let's have a good laugh, everybody. Let's all enjoy ourselves and do a very fun little Hydra run and see exactly what we can do here. Because I'll be honest, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. So we're just going to take our best champs that we got here. Oh, you know what? I should bring in... Dang it, I should bring in Ugo, huh? Let's bring in Ugo. Let's bring in Ugo. We're going to need her. We're going to need her. We're just going to put this bad boy on auto. We're just going to let it run. We're going to let it run. We're going to see where we get to. And that's going to be the thing today. So we'll do this. I can probably put it on 2x speed now. And then I want to show you guys a couple clan boss runs because our clan boss team is looking good. Looking real good, guys. So I just want to show that off a little bit. Well, looks like we're already, you know, pretty close to being better than Hell Hades. Which is, I mean, obviously. But, you know, we broke that 100,000 mark. That's good. That's good. You know, it doesn't take much on these early stages. I don't know that we're even going to be able to get the bottom chest, to be honest. But having Brimstone, right, that is going to be a massive boost to our damage. I think that's actually going to be really, really strong for us. You know, still with Elba, with Jareg, we have healing, we have some protection. I think that's going to be very helpful for us overall. You know, and I think there's a good chance that we should be able to do pretty decently. Basically, we have 13 turns. Once Elva gets eaten, it's going to be, I'm thinking it's going to be game, set, and match. We'll find out here. So, yeah, here we go. All right, we lost 2 champions. Not great. All right, Jareg's back. The other team's taking a lot of turns. It's not, this is a bad sign. Did I say 13 turns? We don't have, well, it's turn 13. Look, we did almost 500,000 damage. All right, that's not so shabby. That's not so shabby. We can keep that result. That's fine. Look at that. Look at that. 500,000 damage. What's the bottom chest? 1.6. So we do need to improve our damage numbers, but we're pretty close to getting that bottom chest. So that's pretty good, right? I'll take it. I will definitely take that. Oh, by the way, did you see? Look at that. Look at that. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Only 5 champ. Like, why are you coming? Why are you coming to the fight? What are you doing? Just messing around. Let's go. Demon Lord. I shouldn't make fun because honestly, you gotta just go for this stuff, you know. Yeah, this is the thing. We're gonna be doing brutal now. We're gonna be doing brutal clan boss. Where before I was like 3 keying normal. Well, I'm strong enough now to maybe 1 key with the affinity we have currently. It's probably gonna be a 2 key. But I think I'm in 3 key status for brutal now, which is pretty massive, and I'm very excited about it. But that ally protection for Jareg is great. Having a secondary decrease attack champion is really helpful too, just in case Venom Mage doesn't land his debuff. You know, he doesn't quite have enough actually to be consistent at the moment. Jareg doesn't, as I don't have the gear to really support that right now. I really built him more to survive and be tanky, but potentially that's what's there. And you saw all those continuous heals. That's part of the power of Jareg, just keeping everybody alive is pretty massive. It's pretty massive. So you can see we're doing about 500,000 damage per turn. You know, 500,000 damage per turn right now at this stage of the game, I think is excellent result. And now the question is going to just be, how long can we survive? It's going to come down to a couple things. Primarily, do we get decreased attack up? Do we keep it up? You can see Jareg was able to put it up there, and that makes a huge difference. You know, making sure that we have ally protection up when we really need it is going to be very helpful. The fact that we're taking so many turns compared to the clan boss is advantageous as well, right? We are going fast, we are going consistently quickly, and I think that is definitely a big help. Also, landing Brimstone consistently is going to be nice. Now, we don't need it for the stun. It doesn't affect the stun. The stun's the base hit. That's the A1, so Brimstone wouldn't activate anyway, but will be really nice is on the AoEs. That's where we definitely want to get Brimstone up, have that land, have that proc, and that'll just be a massive addition. There you go. We're about to get another 500,000 damage over these next 2 turns, which is huge for us. So yeah, I mean, if we can maintain this kind of 500,000 damage threshold, we need to survive about 20 turns as a group, and if we can do that, we'll be 2 King Brutal, right? It's pretty awesome. I think that's pretty awesome. Now 20 turns is kind of a lot for this group, but it's interesting with Jareg that has definitely bumped up, right? The amount of turns that we are surviving is definitely higher than it would be otherwise. So that's a really good thing. And I see a lot of potential in this team. So, well, I mean, yeah, you guys can watch. We'll come back at the end here and see what comes about. Okay, we lasted 22 turns, which is, I think, a pretty good result, considering more than half of our champions are only rank 5, level 50 right now. 9.68 million is, I think, a really good result, especially on Brutal. Now, here's the thing, right? We needed to get to like 11 to get this to a 2 key damage, but obviously that's gonna happen as soon as I can get another champion to 6 stars. As soon as I can use another War Master mastery, that's gonna happen. Let's give you an example. Elva, who only really attacks like 3 out of every 4 attacks, is an actual attack, because you know when she does a cleanse, it's not an attack. She did 1.5 million damage. Deacon did 141,000 damage. So we're getting at least 1 million damage. I mean, just assuming Elva's doing even close to 500,000 off raw damage, which I can guarantee you she's not. We're getting about 1 million damage just from the War Master procs. That's massive. Plus we have Leech out there, and when you hit with Leech, you heal up. That helps a ton. Not to mention getting somebody to 6-star means they're probably not dying as easily, right? They're surviving a little longer. It's gonna be very easy to get this to that 2 key status. Now, it's not like it's gonna happen tonight, but it's going to be a lot easier to make that happen for me, right? When we get cooldowns, it's going to be more damage. If I can get the cooldowns on Venomage, it's going to be massive for damage, but you can obviously Ronda 6 million. A lot of that is going to be Brimstone. I mean, basically, it activates on the AoE. So you figure 2 out of every 3 hits. We lasted 22, we can say 21 turns, right? Because that means each skill from the clan boss would happen 7 times. So that's 14 times that Brimstone has the potential to activate over that time frame. 14 times. That's going to be what? 3.5 million damage just from Brimstone. Not to mention, she's doing a lot of damage from Giant Slayer. She's absolutely insanely good. So I absolutely love Ronda. I think this team is really starting to come together. Now, is this team good enough for Ultra Nightmare? Probably not. We're going to have to do a lot of tweaking to make this kind of team work for Ultra Nightmare. But you can see there is the essence of a clan boss team here. Now, obviously, I'm not speed tuning. It's too early for that. I don't have to worry about that. All I need is masteries on everybody first, after which I can start worrying about speed tuning. But we're doing 10 million or so damage on Brutal. We're getting to about a 2 key result. That means we're getting pretty close to the point where we're going to want to push the Nightmare. And the thing is, the truth of it is, those first 20 turns, the damage difference between any of the difficulties is not considerable, right? The damage scales up as you get higher up and as the turns go along, but not until you get really to turn, I want to say, I guess about turn 20 or so, does it really, you really start to feel the difference between Brutal and Nightmare. Or if you're doing Nightmare, you'll feel the difference between Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare right about there. Maybe like around turn 15 or so. So I feel like this definitely is a nice foundation of a team. We do need to find some better avenues of damage, but you know, and really tempted, I think we might end up having to put Ronda in like a toxic set, which is not what I'm really looking forward to, but might end up being the alternative that we have to go with at some point just to increase our damage numbers here. Having Leech from Deacon is pretty massive, so that allows us to not have to worry about things like lifesteal gear. Truthfully, I'd love to put almost everybody in a Stalwart set eventually because of the Leech, because of the passive healing from Elva and Jareg. Honestly, because of the passive healing from Elva and Jareg, we might not need Deacon at all. We might not need that Leech or lifesteal gear if I can build them tanky enough to survive, but that's a whole nother ball game, and most of these are attack-based champions, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get there. But I'm really happy with the result. The team's really coming together. I cannot wait to get another 6-star champion. I think that's going to be absolutely massive, my account. And so I had another shard. I got one in the market today because it's February, right? New month. And so I thought, let's YOLO. All I'm doing is YOLOing on this account. Now, obviously, like I said before, I do plan on saving at some point. That point is not now. So let's YOLO. Maybe we'll get something good. It'd be pretty great way to end this little stream. No, okay. So, yeah. No, you know, Odachi's not a bad champion. I for my account, again, because I have Elva, he's not going to be really useful for me. But this is actually a really good champion. Little provoke on the A1. It's no big deal, right? AoE attack and then a shield for himself on the A2 is not a bad ability. But most importantly, this A3, where he has a block debuffs for 1 turn and an increased defense buff for 2 turns. Now, he's not quite as good as somebody like Marked as a champion, bringing those ability. Mark brings the big increased defense, and so that becomes a lot better skill, but definitely a useful champion. And somebody in Shadowkin, I'm probably going to try and hold on to him for a little while because I think he can be really useful for, you know, for progression, for the Shadowkin faction where I don't have a lot of champions anyway. I think this might be a good, it's not a bad pull. I mean, for a rare champion, I think it's actually a really, really good pull. And, you know, normally I would be like, ooh, this is somebody I would want to keep. Defensive base too, definitely some potential with him. But for my account, probably not necessary, but we'll hold on to him and see what we can't do with him anyway. But yeah, very excited, very excited. We're moving forward in big ways, guys. Oh man, just getting all those champions in, right? Getting Jareg is huge. Getting Brimstone was huge. We're making progress, kids. We're making progress. Now I just need to keep ascending, keep ranking up, keep leveling up. The formula's simple. It's just long. But the formula's simple. And at least we're seeing the improvements every day, so I'm very excited. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.